Evening, everyone. It's 5:50, and this is your closing comment for Wednesday, September the 8th, and it is video number 929 for Wednesday evening. And I remind you, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll always get all of our up-to-date work. Okay, so there was a fair amount of economic news. We had the JOLTs, which are the job openings. They were higher, again, almost 11 million, 10,935,000 versus last month's 10,185,000. So more jobs out there, unfilled. The Fed's Beige Book was a complete non-event, nothing special there. Consumer credit, however, was up 17 billion, and that is the sixth month in a row of increase. And going back to June, we had the highest numbers since December of 2010. So these are pretty lofty levels. We had a bunch of earnings after the close: Lululemon, Restoration Hardware, RH, and GME. So let's start at the top. LULU closed 380.86, down 560, beat top and bottom, and traded up to 433. The last is 431.78, and that is up 11.7%, $45.32. Restoration Hardware was a beat. It had closed 472 and change, up 839. It traded up to 699.95. Last is a little lower than that, 688.06, and that is up 23.86, or about 3.4%. GameStop was a miss and a loss, and it had closed 198.80, down 20 cents, traded immediately down to 177. Last 184.50, down 14.5, 7.5%. Not on earnings, but just interesting deals. Coinbase, which on Friday was 280, right now is 258.19, down 862, or 3.2% on a couple of things. First of all, they had news today that they were being investigated for loans made against positions. And they also, in the big move yesterday, I think I already mentioned to you that they had a failure in their system, and couldn't do business for several hours, ending around 1 o'clock, 1:30, and in fact the stock had moved up from there but continued lower today. Clover, CLOV, that's a Polyapatia SPAC deal. Yesterday it was 1080, up $1.96, 22%. Today it was 949, down $1.31. No specific news or anything, just your typical meme stock action. And KDMN, Cardin, that's the one that I mentioned this morning. It's a $9.50 all-cash deal from Santa Fe Aventus. So 9.5 cash, closed 913, up 383. So you don't really have to watch that one. You know where it's going. As far as my sectors, most of them were down. The ones that weren't down were barely mixed. Memes, financials, biotech, retail, infrastructure, pot, work from home, airlines and cruise lines, and energy, all down. Defense was mixed, and food supply chain was slightly higher. It was kind of a replay of yesterday without the big rally in the NASDAQ. They all finished down, although not really very much. The big loser was the Russell. but the Dow was down just under 69, just 0.2%. Market internals were 1.3 to 1 to the downside, but volume was almost 3 to 1 to the downside. NASDAQ down 88, 0.57%. Advanced declines there were 2.3 to 1 to the downside. Volume was a little higher. The S&P finished barely unchanged, down $5.96, 0.13. As I said, the Russell was the big loser, down almost 26, 1.14. And the Dow Jones Transports down about 1/3%, or just under $52. Energy stocks in general were down. Oil, on the other hand, was up 95 cents, recovering from some of yesterday's move. And the chart on the screen is, again, nat gas, which today traded over $5. So from just this April's low at $2.45, $5 today on the high 501, closed up 35 cents, or 7.5%, at 491.40. The gold was down another 5, but is back into an area of some support here around the 1790 area. I believe this morning I mentioned that I liked the area in here between 1780, 1785. It did get down to 1783 and then rallied $10. The silver was slightly lower. The Bitcoin Ethereum struggle goes on. Bitcoin today was down 260. Ethereum was up 114. So Bitcoin was down on a percentage basis, not really very much, 0.5%, 0.6, 5.56, and was an inside day with a slightly higher high and a much lower low. Ethereum, on the other hand, went the other way. And by the other way, I want to show you, Ethereum sells for less than 1/10 of what Bitcoin does. So today it was up on the day 114, or 3.35%. So down 0.5, or 0.6%, up 3.4%. So pretty decent moves here in this particular market. The dollar was slightly higher again, 92.65, up 14, and the bonds were up roughly 0.75%. Don't forget, tomorrow we have claims. Tomorrow's Thursday, it's claims day. So we'll have initial and continuing claims tomorrow. I also want to remind you that we had Dennis Marlowe on today's radio show for about 40 minutes, and he went over a great deal to do with the gold-only futures trading program. And I will have more information on that tomorrow, because I will have the link and I will publish it both on the Discord and distribute it through tomorrow night's Daily Note. We also had Pierre Lavalier, who was talking about the injunction that we've received at Deep South that prohibits the government from giving away the license that they are trying to renew. So we'll have more information on that, but he was on for the last 10 or 15 minutes, so that will also be available for replay. All right, everyone, have a good evening. I'll be back first thing in the morning, and please don't forget to hit subscribe, give us a like, and hit that bell for notifications. Have a good evening, everyone.